This segment addresses operation of the pendant. The pendant EEG is shown here, but it applies equally to the pendant PIR and pendant NIR HEG systems. Here we show connecting the 9-volt rechargeable battery, which is piggybacked via Velcro onto the pendant, and we can see at the bottom of the pendant there is an on-off switch. Throwing the switch towards the battery cable turns the device on, and the device indicates that it's transmitting by the green light being mostly on, and you can see it flashes off twice here to indicate which RF channel it's currently on. Here it's on channel 2. To change the RF channel, we just need to momentarily press the button on the side. Pressing it once, thus as was done here, will change it to channel 1. Pressing it momentarily 3 times would change it to channel 3. And now we can see that the light is on and flashing off just the once to indicate channel 1. Now, to put the unit into program mode, we hold the button on the side for more than 4 seconds. In program mode, this allows you to change the profile of the unit, that is the number of samples per second, and also the EEG signal bandwidth, and it also allows you to reprogram the firmware, and you can know that the unit is in program mode because the green light is off, and it will flash on with the number of the RF channel that is currently on. Holding the button on the side down again for more than 4 seconds will return the unit to its transmitting mode. Thus, also note that if the unit is upgraded with a profile or new firmware, it will start transmitting automatically. We can switch the unit off the base, and please leave the unit off when not in use. Okay, to remove the battery, we recommend that you use your fingernail to ease off the battery cap, and then roll the battery across the Velcro to remove the battery. Please don't pull against the battery cable, as that may break the unit. Okay, with the unit in program mode, we can use capability inside BioExplorer to change the profile of the unit and to change its firmware, and let's demonstrate that. So within BioExplorer, we can note that the unit is not receiving, it is not connected, it's in program mode. We go to Devices, BioExplorer Device Manager, we select the pendant EEG, and there we can see the pendant EEG configuration has a tab called Pendant, and that is where you can find these particular capabilities. First, we can see you can obtain the serial number of the unit by pressing on this button here. It'll also tell you the current RF channel number. Above that, to obtain the profile, the samples per second, or the EEG signal bandwidth. To change that, there is a pull-down tab with the various configurations that are possible. The default is 256 samples per second and 40 Hz bandwidth, as we can see there, but we could, for example, change it to 256 samples per second and 48 Hz bandwidth by selecting the respective profile and then clicking on the button. And we should get confirmation that the configuration has changed. Now, thirdly, there is an ability to change the firmware in the pendant. This might be additional capabilities are made available. Access to our website will give you the latest firmware version. You can download that as a text file, and then using this utility here, you can call up that file and transfer it over the wireless link to the pendant, and if transfer is successful, the pendant will immediately start transmitting the new configuration. If it's not, it will continue to sit in program mode waiting for another attempt. So here we're calling up a new firmware version, and just by selecting the file causes the data to start streaming over the wireless link. Thus, Now we'll be able to confirm that the firmware has been upgraded by, again, seeking the serial number of the device and the version number by pressing the About button. Okay, that was a successful upload, the new firmware. We can now check that the firmware version has been upgraded by pressing the About button, but remember that the firmware, once the firmware is successfully uploaded, the unit will commence to transmit immediately, so we would need to set it back into program mode before we press the About button to confirm that indeed the firmware version has been upgraded. There. Okay, thank you.